When the officers came knocking, Karen could have talked to them outside and closed the door behind her.
False sincerity. People easily mistake sincerity for honesty. Remember that
Good afternoon, officers. How can I help you?
The chain lock works fine too.
Who is it? Police department. Good afternoon, officers. How can I help you? Hi, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in for a moment? Do you have a warrant? What is this about? No, my name is Officer Smith. This is Officer Jones.
We're introducing ourselves to the tenant as part of a new home safety program. Mind if we come in?
No, thank you. I can't let you in without a warrant.
Again.
I can't let you in without a warrant.
That is your decision, ma'am. But this is just a public safety check. We're not here to get anyone in trouble.
I understand, but I need to see a warrant before letting you folks inside. Well, ma'am, you have my card if you need anything. Have a nice day. Take care.
Clerk.
If police come to your door and you don't need their help, you may simply decline to answer the door. Because you don't have to let them in unless they have a search warrant.
Do not despair at having to wear such a bland mask. It is often your unreadability that draws people to you.
If I do not consent, when are police allowed to search my car? You mentioned probable cause. What does that mean?
Probable cause means police must have clear facts or evidence to believe you're involved in criminal activity. In other words, an officer's hunch without evidence of illegal activity is not enough to search or arrest you. But it doesn't take much. Most avoidable police searches happen not because police have probable cause. They happen because people get tricked or intimidated into consent.
So expired registration is a probable cause to search my car?
No, it's not. But you still gotta be careful. Courts are eager to uphold police searches, so something suspicious about you or your car could be considered probable cause. I'm not the kind of guy to tell you how you should express yourself. Expressing yourself is one thing, but exposing yourself to police by being a public nuisance is different.
Everybody knows who I'm holding.
Rule number 6. Don't expose yourself.
Wild news and being unpredictable. If you display your feelings too soon, it becomes an argument.
Police detain and frisk you. You have the right to clearly state your refusal to consent to the search.
Officer, I'm not resistant, but I do not consent to searches.
But you should only verbally refuse, never physically resist. Now, just touching a cop can get you tasered or beaten. You can also get charged with felony assault. Face forward.
Publicly stated his praises for the Austrians and talked about their madness of war. Then deputies changed their votes at Bismarck and most Prussians wanted to go to
Dana, do you see any ways you could handle yourself better?
the Austrians. Had he gone to the
Good evening, officer. How's it going? Did you know you were swerving between lanes? No, officer. Let me see your license and registration. Sure. My license. And my registration.
Darren, we've got some problems with gangs moving guns down this highway. Not packing any Tech-9s, are you?
No, sir.
I didn't think so. You don't mind if I take a look, do you?
Officer, I know you're just doing your job. I don't have any guns or whatever, but I don't consent to searches.
Perfect. Rule number 3. You have the right to refuse searches. This comes directly from the Fourth Amendment. For your Fourth Amendment protection to legally apply, you must be prepared to clearly state your refusal under pressure. Everyone, repeat after me.
sense of socialist. You a law student or something?
So if I show that I know the rules, you might think I'm a law student. Maybe I got big legal connections.
Perhaps. But don't get carried away by saying stuff like,
I know my rights. Get out of my face. I'll sue you.
never tell the officer you know your rights. Show the officer you know your rights by asserting them calmly.
You nervous? Everything in this car I need to know about? No, officer.
During the Cold War of the 1950s and 60s, as is now notorious, a slew of British civil servants
Unless you're detained or arrested, you may terminate the encounter at any time, but don't wait for the officer to dismiss you. Simply ask if you're free to go.
Darren, the dogs are gonna rip apart your car, and you're gonna find what you're hiding. Like I said, what's it gonna be?
Officer, are you detaining me or am I free to go?
Good. This line can help withdraw you from an encounter. Saying you want to leave establishes that the encounter is not voluntary, which could help you later if you end up in court. Let's practice that line. Everyone repeat after me. Are you detaining me, or am I free to go?
Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
One more time. Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
Alright? You wanna play like that? You wanna bump it up to the next level? Fine. Stay right here, don't go anywhere.
Asserting your rights won't make the police love you, but it might make them extra cautious about violating your rights.
Darren, this is a citation for excessive lane change. We'll clear that as soon as possible.
Thank you, officer.
The Fifth Amendment states that no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. During a police encounter, the smartest way to take the bit is just to keep your mouth shut, because you always have the right to remain silent. We'll talk in a minute about how this works. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. So if the police interrogate or arrest you, asking you for a lawyer is a good way to assert your right to remain silent. Lawyer up. That's right. Regardless of what you have seen on TV, police don't usually have to read you your rights, even if you're arrested. So it's up to you to make sure that you understand the law and make smart choices.
Since I'm crushed again, I know y'all some days coaching for gymnasts. Either one. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like that on the way.
Oh, yeah, my son is here.
Here are 6 reasons why the silent treatment confirmed.
I chose Hazelnut Bay for graduate school due to the fact they have such dedication and passion for the industry.
Ostracization to death because it was interpreted as expulsion from humanity and even expulsion from oneself. We are social beings designed to form and maintain relationships.
Lao Tzu says, those who flow as life flows, know they need no other force. Lao Tzu was an ancient Chinese philosopher and writer. He was known to be the founder of Taoism. He is also credited as the writer of Taoism's most sacred text, the Tao Te Ching. Taoism is a philosophy which teaches a life of ease, living in harmony with the Tao. The word Tao translates into path, method, principle, or way, And Taoist belief is based on the idea that the Tao is an organizing principle of the universe, a natural order that one can come to know by living in harmony with nature. Taoism suggests that life is like the course of a river, and most of us are clinging to the bank, afraid to let go, and risk being carried along by the current of the river. At a certain point, each of us must be willing to simply let go and trust the river to carry us along safely. At this point, we learn to go with the flow. Once we become accustomed to being in the flow of the river, we can begin to look ahead and guide our course onward. Thus, flow is about leading your life's course with minimal resistance. It is about allowing the course of your life to unfold whilst making conscious decisions about what's ahead of you. And in this video, we will talk about 6 ways to be in flow with your life from the wisdom of Lao Tzu. Number 1, let go of your ego. In the words of Lao Tzu, the ego is entranced by names and ideas. However, names and concepts only block your perception of this great oneness. Taoism teaches us that everything is connected and we are part of a greater whole, that we are much more than our job or our physical appearance, and only when we let go of this false identity given by the ego will we be able to live a fulfilling life. By linking our identity to what we do professionally or the job title.
It destroys relationships. Communication.
Hey, Rooster!
The silent treatment often denotes an inability to communicate and low emotional intelligence.
Person who cannot inspire such emotions. Train yourself in the art of concealing your intentions. Master the art and you will always have the upper hand. Our first instinct is to always trust appearances. This fact makes it relatively easy to conceal one's intentions. Let's talk about how people conceal intentions and fool you. Use decoy objects of desire to throw people off. Support an idea or cause that is actually contrary to your own sentiments, but will help you achieve your goal. Use this tactic in the following manner. Hide your intentions not by closing up, with the risk of appearing secretive and making people suspicious, but by talking endlessly about your desires and goals, just not your real ones. You will kill 3 birds with 1 stone. You appear friendly, open, and trusting. You conceal your intentions, and you send your rivals on time-consuming wild goose chases. False sincerity. People easily mistake sincerity for honesty. Remember, their first instinct is to trust appearances, and since they value honesty and want to believe in the honesty of those around them, they will rarely doubt you or see you through your act. Seeming to believe what you say gives your words great weight. Remember, the best deceivers do everything they can to cloak their roguish qualities. They cultivate an air of honesty in one area to disguise their dishonesty in others. Honesty is merely another decoy in their arsenal of weapons. Bland facial expression. Behind the bland, unreadable exterior, all sorts of mayhem can be planned without detection. This is a weapon that the most powerful men in history have learned to perfect. Noble gesture. People want to believe apparently noble gestures are genuine, for the belief is pleasant. They rarely notice how deceptive these gestures can be. Appearing to belong to a group, the tendency to mistake appearances for reality, the feeling that if someone seems to belong to your group, their belonging must be real. This habit makes the seamless blend a very effective front. The trick is simple. You simply blend in with those around you, and the better you blend in, the less suspicious you become. Remember, it takes patience and humility to dull your brilliant colors, to put on the mask of the unconspicuous. Do not despair at having to wear such a bland mask. It is often your unreadability that draws people to you and makes you appear a person of power. But how do people apply these ways to fool you? Simply dangle an object you seem to desire, a goal you seem to aim for in front of people's eyes, and they will take the appearance for reality. Once their eyes focus on the decoy, they will fail to notice what you're really up to. Politicians use this all the time. Our first historical example would be decoyed objects of desire and making a woman fall in love. The Marquis or Marquise de Sévigné was inexperienced in the art of love. He confided in the infamous famous courtesan of 17th century France, Ninon de Leclerc, to instruct him on how to seduce the difficult young countess. She made him follow a plan over a number of weeks, where the Marquise would be appearing in public, always surrounded by beautiful women in the very places the countess would be expected to see him. He was supposed to assume an air of nonchalance. This increased the jealousy of the young countess, who was not sure of his interest in her. One day the Marquise, unable to control his passion, broke from Ninon's clan and blurted out to the countess that he loved her. After this omission, the countess no longer found him interesting and avoided him. The whole premise of dating is based on games, wild moves, and being unpredictable. If you display your feelings too soon, it becomes an artless show of passion, a door closed that would never open again. In seduction, set up conflicting signals such as desire and indifference, and you not only throw them off the scent, you inflate their desire to possess you. Another example, Otto von Bismarck became Prime Minister of Prussia. Otto von Bismarck was a deputy in the Prussian Parliament at a time when many fellow deputies thought it was possible to go to war against Austria and defeat it. Bismarck wanted to go to war, but he knew that the king was not in favor of it. He also knew the Prussian army was not prepared, so he devised a clever way. He publicly stated his praises for the Austrians and talked about the madness of war. Many deputies changed their votes, and Bismarck announced his real intentions, arguing it was better to wait now and fight later. He would not have won. Most Prussians wanted to go to war at that moment and mistakenly believed their army to be superior to the Austrians. Had he gone to the king, his sincerity would have been doubted. By giving misleading statements about wanting peace and concealing his true purpose, Bismarck's speech catapulted him to the position of prime minister. He later had the country go to war against the Austrians at the right time, when he felt the Prussian army was more capable and united with Germany. Yet another example, the Duke of Marlborough used this in the Spanish Succession. During the War of the Spanish Succession in 1711, the Duke of Marlborough, head of the English army, wanted to destroy a key French fort because it protected a vital thoroughfare into France. And he knew that if he destroyed it, the French would realize what he wanted, to advance down that road. Instead, then he merely captured the fort and garrisoned it with some of his troops, making it appear as if he wanted it for some purpose of his own. The French attacked the fort and the Duke let them recapture it. Once they had it back, they destroyed it, figuring that the Duke had wanted it for some important reason. Now that the fort was gone, the road was unprotected and Marlborough could easily march into France. What else? Henry Kissinger used bland face to win opponents. Henry Kissinger would bore his opponents around the negotiating table to tears with his monotonous voice, his blank look, his endless recitations of details. Then, as their eyes glazed over, he would suddenly hit them with a list of bold terms. Caught off guard, they would be easily intimidated. As one poker manual explains it, while playing his hand, the good player is seldom an actor. Instead, he practices a bland behavior that minimizes readable turns, frustrates and confuses opponents, permits greater concentration. Spies use appearing to belong to a group method. During the Cold War of the 1950s and 60s, as is now notorious, a slew of British civil servants passed secrets to the Soviets. They went undetected for years because they were apparently decent chaps, had gone to all the right schools and fit the old boy network perfectly. So, I paid close attention to all the feedback I've received from you guys and switched up the reviewing of the book's content to a great deal. I hope you like it better this way. And please let me know. And thanks for watching. The put on that is, what the fuck is that sentence? Be measured and believable, or your rules will seem to put on that. I'm not putting this.
Grand Canyon University is purpose-driven education. Visit gcu.edu.
Hey, Sightgoers, and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for your love and support, enabling us to send your way another buff of everyday psychology. Let's explore. Have you ever given someone the silent receiving end of someone's silent treatment. It feels uncomfortable, right? Stifling even. George Bernard Shaw once said, "The worst sin to our fellow creatures is not to hate them, but to be indifferent to them. That is the essence of inhumanity." There are many psychological reasons to explain why you may feel that way, but even more than just how harmful giving someone a cold shoulder can be. Many people believe that giving the silent treatment is a dignified response to an argument, but it's not. The silent treatment is a form of ostracism. The perpetrator often deflects, evades, subverts, or rejects your input, thus freezing you out completely. Their withdrawal leaves you feeling confused and hurt until you eventually get used to it. According to the professor of psychology, Kipling William at Purdue University, it's a form of passive abuse. It's employed with the intent to punish someone and thus yields harmful repercussions. Here are 6 reasons why the silent treatment can harm you. Number 1, it dehumanizes the other person. Did you know early civilizations equated ostracization to death because it was interpreted as expulsion from humanity and even expulsion from oneself? We are social beings designed to form and maintain relationships. Social ostracizing, via silent treatment, frustrates these relationships. According to a 1976 study, treating people as less than human also tends to dehumanize the perpetrator. Therefore, being ostracized leads to people feeling less human and seeing the person alienating them as less human as well. Number 2, it emotionally manipulates the other person. If you've been a victim of the silent treatment, have you ever begun to doubt your own understanding of reality? Many psychologists classify the silent treatment as a form of manipulation. It's a way for the perpetrator to maintain control over the conversation or argument. The silent treatment is equivalent to gaslighting in the sense that it makes the person receiving the treatment question what they did wrong. Hence, it's a form of emotional abuse. Number 3, it denotes rejection. Do you hesitate to reach out for their hand? Does it feel like there's a good chance of being turned away, or even makes you feel ashamed of the effort? During an argument, it's easy to justify your cold shoulder. It might seem like a good de-escalation tactic, but in reality, it's exacerbating the problem. The silent treatment serves to deny partners basic communicative needs, and therefore the person on the receiving end may feel rejected, especially if there is a physical aspect to the ostracization. Withholding of physical content from a spouse or partner make the partner doubt the stability of your relationship. Number 4, it instills self-esteem issues. Have you begun to constantly criticize yourself? Are you apologizing for every little thing? A cold shoulder is a very active way of demeaning someone and telling them that they're worthless, regardless of the intention. It invalidates their opinions, thoughts, and emotions. This, in turn, can produce anxiety and reduce self-esteem. A study from the University of Sydney shows that repeated ostracization can lead to the development of depression, eating disorders, and even suicide. Number 5, it produces physical pain. Do you often feel physical discomfort? Scientists have shown that when you experience the silent treatment, the anterior cingulate cortex, a region that distinguishes levels of pain, becomes activated. As a result of someone's cold shoulder, you may experience digestive issues, headaches, or aches in your back or joints. And number 6, it destroys relationships. Communication has been called the fuel that keeps the fire of your relationship burning. The silent treatment often denotes an inability to communicate and low emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence lends a relationship with a sensitivity to figure out when to. As a result, many of those who perpetrate it are not aware of its own harm. Repeated ostracization closes lines of communication and subsequently destroys the relationship. Whether you're the receiver or the perpetrator, trying to find a way to talk is always a good place to start. When feeling too overwhelmed or heated during an argument, let's cool down. You can say something like, "I don't want to talk right now, but we can discuss this later." And actually, talking to that person later does the trick. Don't let it be lip service. Making sure that you keep the lines of communication open and avoiding using accusatory phrases can help in talking your problems out. We hope we were able to give you insight into some of the ways that silent treatment can harm you. Do any of these describe your experiences? Or did any of these points describe you? Leave a comment down below about your encounter with it if you'd like. Please feel free to share any thoughts you have as well. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button and share it with those out there being served the silent treatment. Don't forget to subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification notification bell for more new videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
There's a lot of science that goes into making sure this helmet protects me. The same is true of the Colgate Total Active Prevention System.
It's 15 times more effective in fighting the root cause of oral health problems.
Try the Colgate Total Active Prevention System.
Prevent problems before they start.
I'm a baseball dad. Just because I didn't go pro doesn't mean my kid won't. Hey, buddy, you gotta scribble those hips, right? And you gotta swing. And if you don't have the right insurance, you can pay for this yourself. Get all safe.
The 40th Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Law number 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You may feel you're helping the drowning man, but you're only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. The infector possesses an inward instability that radiates outward, drawing disaster to all that they touch. Mary Gilbert, aka Lola Montez of Ireland, was one such person. Lola found herself in the role of a courtesan, prostitute of the royal court. In today's society, Lola would be considered a gold digger. She only sought out men with high social standing in the community that she could use for her own gain. Once she would have her hooks in these men, their slow demise began. One of her victims was King Ludwig of Bavaria, who felt compelled to help Lola. Yet once he was warned of the dangers of his affair with her, he could not seem to resist Lola's aura and almost found his once peaceful country in a state of civil war. It was not until then that the king finally ordered Lola to leave, but a month after she left, King Ludwig was forced to relinquish his throne. There are many men who suffered because of their association with Lola Montez. King Ludwig said that he was bewitched by Lola. Lola was an unstable, incurable, and infectious character type. This is not to say that these characteristics are only restricted to women. This is to say that there are some people whose emotions are so powerful that they infect the very soul of the people that they touch. How to recognize an infector? They draw misfortune upon themselves. They have a turbulent past. They have a long line of broken relationships. They have an unstable career. They have a forceful character that sweeps you up and makes you lose reason. They have a desire to destroy and unsettle, and is chronically dissatisfied. They have great effect on the world around them. And what do you do when you meet one? Don't argue with them. This is part of how they trap you. Don't try to help them no matter what they say. Don't pass the person on to your friends or you will become enmeshed. Flee the infector's presence or suffer the consequences. Learn to fear the power of infection. The risk of associating with infectors is that you will waste valuable time and energy trying to free yourself. Through a kind of guilt by association, you will also suffer in the eyes of others. On the other side of the spectrum of infectors are those people who attract happiness through their good cheer, natural buoyancy, and intelligence. They are a source of pleasure, and you must associate with them to share in the prosperity they draw upon themselves. All positive qualities can infect us, but taking advantage of the emotional side of this osmosis may be difficult. Now I put down 5 ways to affect positive change through your associations. If you are miserly by nature, associate with the generous and they will infect you, opening up everything that is tight and restricted in you. Only generous souls attain greatness. If you are gloomy, gravitate to the cheerful. If you are prone to isolation, force yourself to befriend the gregarious. Never associate with those who share your defects. They will reinforce what holds you back. One simple example is the meth head who tries to break out of the cycle of drugs and still just hangs out with his other meth head friends. It's just a very difficult environment. And 5, only create associations with positive affinities. So to quote Balthasar Gracian once again, recognize the fortunate so that you may choose their company and the unfortunate so that you may avoid them. Misfortune is usually the crime of folly, and among those who suffer from it, there is no malady more contagious. Never open your door to the least of misfortunes, for if you do, many others will follow in its train. Do not die of another's misery. That's it for this law. If you seek more soulful reviews, you might just want to subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Let me see your license.
Office.com will conduct
Fair enough.
You have the right to review search.
The 40th Laws of Power by Robert Greene. Law number 26. Keep your hands clean. You must seem a paragon of civility and efficiency. Your hands are never soiled by mistakes and nasty deeds. Maintain such a spotless appearance by using others as scapegoats and cat's paws to disguise your involvement. Conceal your mistakes. Have a scapegoat around to take the blame. Our good name and reputation depend more on what we conceal than on what we reveal. Everyone makes mistakes, but those who are truly clever manage to hide them and to make sure someone else is blamed. A convenient scapegoat should always be kept around for such moments. Understanding the workings of power and the importance of appearances, shop around for the most convenient head and have it served up immediately. Occasional mistakes are inevitable. Handle them. People of power are undone not by the mistakes they make, but by the way they deal with them. The mistake does not vanish with an apology. It deepens and festers. It's better to cut it off instantly, distract attention from yourself, and focus attention on a convenient scapegoat. Do not give people time to ponder your responsibility or your possible incompetence. The bloody sacrifice of the scapegoat seems a barbaric relic of the past, but the practice lives on to this day, if indirectly and symbolically. Since power depends on appearances,
Listen, I know you're just doing your job. I don't have any guns or whatever, but I don't consent to searches.
Perfect. Rule number 3. You have the right to review searches. This comes directly from the Fourth Amendment. For your Fourth Amendment protection to legally apply, you must be prepared to clearly state your refusal under pressure. Everyone, repeat after me. I don't consent to searches.
I don't consent to searches.
The officers can't hear you, so say it again.
I don't consent to searches.
One more time.
I don't consent to searches.
You a law student or something?
So if I show that I know the rules, you might think I'm a law student. Maybe I got big legal connections.
Perhaps. But don't get carried away by saying stuff like, I know my rights. Get out of my face. I'll sue you.
What's it called?
Never tell the officer you know your rights. Show the officer you know your rights by asserting them.
You seem nervous. Everything in this car I need to know about? No.
It's called the people. It's called avoid them. When they're family. Exception. Like that.
Unless you're detained or arrested, you may terminate the encounter at any time. But don't wait for the officer to dismiss you. Simply ask if you're free to go.
Darren, those dogs are gonna rip apart your car, and they're gonna find what you're hiding. Like I said, what's it gonna be?
Officer, are you detaining me or am I free to go?
Good. This line can help withdraw you from an encounter. Saying you want to leave establishes that the encounter is not voluntary, which can help you later if you end up in court. Let's practice that line. Everyone repeat after me. Are you detaining me, or am I free to go? Are you detaining me, or am I free to go? One more time. Are you detaining me, or am I free to go?
Alright. You wanna play like that? You wanna bump it up to the next level? Fine. You stay right here, don't go anywhere.
Asserting your rights won't make the police love you, but it might make them extra cautious about violating your rights.
Darren, this is a citation for lane changing. Take care of that as soon as possible. Thank you, officer.
Someone looks only put up with their family. There's some. What's it called? A dude advantage over there. Or what's it called? Rune Stooge. What's up for it? steps at top or bottom.
To an updated traditional book. You can
Very
also
familiar.
reconfigure it just by adding or removing pieces. The Silva version is a great value at just $12.89. Come find a look that's right for you at your furniture superstore, Napa Home. Think you need a new roof? Take it, yeah, and save thousands.
We're America's most trusted roofers because we always try to save your roof rather than replace it.
We'll restore your roof for a fraction of the cost of a new one. Call now or scan the code, and we'll give you an assessment of your roof for free.
OG Lid, take two.
Imagine yourself in an amazing, fully furnished, multi-million-dollar home in Orange County. This is going to be awesome. Oh, sweet win. Here we go again.
What's for life? Love,
Prison cover.
family, friends. Your smile should be too.
I'm Dr. Ethan Implants for Life, dedicated to getting your smile back for a
Hey,
lifetime.
prison cover.
With cutting-edge technology and an in-house lab, we do it all. Consultation, design, and same-day implants. Before they cover their smiles. After they share them. Because what we give isn't just a new smile, it's a new beginning. Visit getimplantsforlife.com and get your forever smile today.
Right now at 6, the conflict in the Middle East intensifying. Tonight, the Consul General of Israel for the Pacific Southwest reacts to the ongoing operation and plans moving forward. That NBC4 News exclusive, just minutes away.
Plus, Kanye West takes the stand for Kanye West takes the stand. The record defense of $7 billion civil trial. What happens in the courtroom today?
NBC4 News at 6 starts with breaking news.
And we begin tonight at 6 with all of Southern California bracing for strong winds tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson.
And I'm Michael Bradley. The gun store expected to pick up here tonight, igniting concerns of down trees, power outages, and dangerous driving conditions.
We have team coverage for you of this wind event. Macy Jenkins live in the San Fernando Valley for us. But first, let's bring in meteorologist Melissa McGee, who is tracking the wind warnings for us. Melissa.
Hi there, Carolyn and Michael, and we will have those warnings pop up as we go throughout the overnight hours into our Saturday. Right now, it's just a quiet, isolated gust. They're going to get much stronger than this overnight and into our weekend. 32 miles per hour there in Ontario. Currently in Santa Clarita, we've got a gust of 26 miles per hour, but the strong winds are on the way. We've got a wind advisory for our entire region, including the Basin Floor, and then the purple or the mustard shade color here. That's an indication of a high wind warning up to the San Gabriel Mountains. So a lot of these advisories are going to come as we get into our Saturday evening. However, the Inland Empire, this advisory can stand for you is reflecting.
The data get fired. This happens because we can't let go
Watch this Cartoon Network and
self-identity. Instead of
watch the
looking
bin.
at the unity of all things
I didn't influence the monster.
part of a greater whole, we end up reducing ourselves to a mere job title or physical trait. We came into the world without any preconceptions. We had no concept of race, religion, or social class when we were born. It is only when we grow older that we cling to these things, even believing they define us. We segment ourselves into groups and shun people who don't fit into the same bracket as us. The Tao Te Ching says, forget the rules and flow freely in whichever way life takes you. We need to realize that we are already connected to everything in our lives that we think is missing, such as love, this analogy to our lives, we'll find that much like the individual rivers contributing to that same body of water, we too are all a part of a greater whole, and we're governed by the universal energy common to all of us. In the hyper-competitive rat race we all call modern life, we very much neglect this wisdom. We all desperately wish to be the first one to do something or to go somewhere, but often that is too great a risk or requires more time and energy than is reasonable, as we are going against the flow of life. Also, competing and challenging others in order to be first can upset or offend them, and people often react badly to being challenged this way, sometimes even violently. Our efforts and struggles towards our goals creates an internal sense of value that often bears little resemblance to how valuable that goal is in reality. As a result, we become too hung up on labels and titles, social status, wealth, etc., so that when we achieve our goals, it naturally boosts our egos to a stage where we end up looking down on people who aren't on par with us. The truth is, no matter how much one competes and thrives, none of us are really self-made. Ask yourself, how much of your life have you earned? First, our lives depend on our parents. They feed us, protect us, and nurture us as infants. Did you earn it? No. Then, in your childhood, you had teachers who helped you learn to read and write, parents who clothed and fed you, a community that provided food